We've heard it said, forgive and forget. Now that we have some time to sit back and think, one of the things that should come to our mind is the idea of forgiving other people. Uh, we spend so much time thinking about the offenses that we've received, what people have done to us, and we don't ever think enough about the offenses we've caused. Sometimes you never want to make a phone call because you know that what's going to come up is the uh, Aunt Sally's uh, hurts and pains, or the fact that somebody screwed you out of the inheritance or did you wrong. No matter what the subject begins with, it always ends up at that same place. And so the secret of forgiving, and that's what Jesus asks us to do. He never says anything about forgetting, but he does say, forgive others so that you can be forgiven. And the problem is that if you don't forget, you can never forgive. And why do I say that? Is because by feeding the continual remembrance of the wrong that's been done to you, your mind is corrupted, your petitions to God are destroyed, your thinking is eroded, uh, you feed your pride, you feed your hurt, you feed your wound, you feed resentment, and it takes over your life. And so when that saying is said to us, forgive and forget, the forget part is really important. Well, how do I forget? It's hard enough for me, Father, to forgive somebody that's hurt me. How am I supposed to forget the hurt that's been done to me? Well, the only way to do that is to think about what I have done to Jesus, because in the end, it wasn't the Romans, it wasn't the Jews who put Jesus to death. I killed Jesus by my sins. I sold him for a few minutes of pleasure, uh, an hour in bed instead of getting up for church, whatever it was that I've done. And by thinking of that, instead of feeding the hurt that's been done to me, the evil that's been done to me, I forget that hurt, I forget that evil, and allow myself to become healed. And that's the thing that really is difficult to do, to forget the hurt that has been done to me. So think about that as you have time now at home, to concentrate on the wrong I've done to Jesus. Take your cross out, your crucifix, and see what your pleasure, what your sins have cost the one who really loves you, and what it's done to him and what I've done to him. Because really, it's each one of us that have done our worst against our God. And if you keep that in your mind, you won't have time to think about the little things that people have done to you. They took your $10,000 inheritance, they stole from you, they said bad things about you, whatever they did. And the more you think about what they've done, you'll never be able to forgive them, because you're feeding, always stirring up your thoughts and your mind and your heart and soul against the person. So this is a timeless thought. It's a thought that we really need to work on. And the solution is thinking about the cross of Jesus and what I've cost him by my sinfulness and the hurt I've done to him. And when I think about that, I don't have any room in my heart for thinking about the little things that people have done to me. And I can begin to forget uh, that wonderful disease they call Alzheimer's. Uh, in one sense, it's a mercy, because people who are miserable and mean, they forget that miserable and meanness and what caused it in their life. And that is a mercy of God, because until you can forget those things, resentments never go away. They only grow and take over our life. And as the saints tell us, tear up our petitions to God, corrode our heart. It's like having a rusty nail in your foot. If you don't get rid of that rusty nail, first of all, you can't walk. And secondly, that rusty nail will cause you to have all sorts of physical problems in your body, or a rusty bullet in your heart. You have to take them out. You have to take that rusty nail out. That's forgiveness and forgetting. You can't run a marathon with a rusty nail in your foot. You can't even walk to God with a rusty nail in your foot. And it's really what we're trying to do is to walk to God, to crawl to God, to go to God. So get rid of the rusty nails in your heart and in your feet by forgetting the wrongs done to you, and remember only the wrongs you've done to God. And you'll find happiness and peace and a healed heart and a joyful heart. Thank you.